Release the elephant mosquitoes. Why are huge and dangerous insects being bred in Chinese laboratories? A sharp increase in temperature, migraine attacks, nausea, photophobia, a rash, and most importantly, terrible joint swelling. The name of the virus is Chikungunya. From the Kimakonde language, spoken in Tanzania and Mozambique, it translates as to become contorted or bent over. Infected people assume the most unnatural postures just to slightly ease the pain in their limbs. 2 vaccines are currently being developed. One is already being used in several countries. It's a kind of study because this is a live vaccine, and as a rule, live vaccines have their own set of side effects, so to speak, which require more careful research. Today, epidemiologists are reporting 250,000 people infected with the chikungunya virus worldwide. The highest number of cases has been recorded in Brazil, Bolivia, Argentina, and Madagascar. But the epicenter of this contorting fever outbreak was the Chinese city of Foshan. And it's all because of a rainy summer. The fact is, the carriers of this disease are mosquitoes. Consequently, where there's more water, there are more mosquitoes. And in China, this is likely connected to the fact that the rainy season has just passed. Against this backdrop, mosquitoes develop very well and, accordingly, transmit this infection. The good news is that medics are familiar with this virus. The very first case of infection occurred in Africa back in the middle of the last century. And this contorting fever only proves fatal for the elderly or those suffering from severe chronic diseases. But such sharp and massive outbreaks of chikungunya have not been observed before, especially in China. And remembering the coronavirus pandemic, the country's authorities began to wonder how can they bring the epidemiological situation under control. Could it be by exterminating mosquitoes? Timid conversations about this are already taking place among Chinese officials. You couldn't imagine a worse idea, warn the entomologists. The destruction of mosquitoes is fraught with undesirable side effects. The vanished species can be replaced by another, even more dangerous to humans. And the new species can spread diseases faster and over a much greater distance than today's mosquitoes. It turns out that if you completely destroy any species, nature will inevitably strike back at humanity. In that case, perhaps the population of bloodsuckers should be reduced. This would at least slow the increase in the number of cases. That's exactly why, for now, as an experiment, more than 5,000 mosquitofish have been released into the reservoirs of Foshan. They feed on mosquito larvae and are known for their excellent appetite. Drones are also being used. The purpose of using drones is to promptly detect and eliminate any stagnant water, because stagnant water allows mosquitoes to multiply in large numbers. Consequently, by eliminating these areas of stagnant water, mosquitoes have nowhere to breed and their population decreases. Moreover, right now at Sun Yat-sen University in Guangzhou, a mosquito factory is operating without breaks or days off. There, scientists are artificially breeding sterile males. After they mate, their offspring are non-viable. In the same place, entomologists are raising elephant mosquitoes. No, these aren't some kind of mutant insects, but a naturally existing species. Their distinctive feature is their huge size by mosquito standards, about 2 centimeters. Half of that is a strong proboscis, or even a trunk. After all, they are a kind of elephant. But most importantly, they have absolutely no interest in human blood.
Friends, I would like to recommend you a channel where you will find historical documentaries and deep dives into the past, from ancient civilizations and forgotten legends to historical secrets and untold stories. We bring history to life with expert narration and stunning visuals. Explore the history of ancient empires, historical figures, and rare historical facts, revealing the secrets of the past. The link to the channel will be in the description under this video.
The so-called elephant mosquitoes are predators. They feed not only on the mosquitoes that carry the virus, but also on their larvae. They are generally found in India, Sri Lanka, and Malaysia, but they can adapt perfectly to any climate. They are unpretentious insects. Elephant mosquitoes have been used before in missions to contain infectious diseases. In 1934, they were relocated to Fiji to combat the insect carriers of the dengue virus, also known as breakbone fever. But when outbreaks of dengue and malaria began to appear all over the world a little later, it became clear the winged elephants couldn't cope. Then, American scientists intervened in mosquito DNA and introduced a certain gene into the males, which, according to the entomologist's plan, was supposed to literally poison the life of the insects. The insects did indeed die, and the population decreased, but over time they adapted to this gene, and the mosquitoes, on the contrary, began to thrive. Moreover, against the backdrop of all these changes, they became quite resistant to disinfectant chemicals. But the work of American entomologists had some very successful examples as well. In the mid-20th century, farmers faced an invasion of tropical screwworm flies, which infected cattle and destroyed huge numbers of livestock. To combat the parasites, the U.S. Department of Agriculture launched a project for the mass breeding and distribution of sterile males of these flies. They were sterilized with using radiation and released into the wild. As a result, females, when mating with them, produced no offspring, and the flies gradually died out. This approach is more ecological and effective than traditional control methods, such as spraying chemical substances. Today, Texas is once again experiencing an invasion of tropical screwworm flies. There are plans to open a laboratory in the state where about 400 million insects will be sterilized per week. However, specialists will have to monitor what kind of disruptions this large-scale project will cause in the ecosystem. This whole system is so interconnected that before you completely remove something from the food chain, you need to think carefully, because there are many scientific institutes and many scientists who are very skeptical about the elimination of an entire species. Flies, besides even these screwworm flies, also consume organic waste. In principle, they sort of clean the earth of all this organic matter. In other words, nature abhors a vacuum. And returning to the Chikungunya virus outbreak in China, it's clear that disinfection is the most flawed way to combat the disease. Yes, the entomologists reason this will undoubtedly slow the increase in cases. But what happens next? A reduction in fish populations, then animals, disruption of bird migration, and as a result, an ecological catastrophe. So, to some extent, the entire world is held up on the delicate wings of mosquitoes.